let me preface what I'm about to talk about with I'm a middle aged woman, right? I'm closer to 50. With that, I'm not having any more children, right? I probably won't ever get married again. And I've already realized that no one is coming to save me. It doesn't matter how many men desire me, how pretty I am, and how much of wifey material I am, and all these nice things that men say about me that women wish men would say about them or men say about them. None of that shit matters when it's time to secure my future. And I never been under the mindset that a man was going to secure my future. I've never been under that kind of brainwashing, right? My father made sure of that. So this stuff is not really something I have to battle with. So I will spend the rest of my days securing my future, whether there's a man in my life or not. I'm at a place in my life where I can just enjoy a man for comfort and pleasure and fun, right? And that's probably is the extent of it. That's just probably as far as it will go, right? If it goes any further, then it goes further. But my main goal right now is to secure my future, my comfort, right? My stability, my protection, right? All of this is on me. And that is what I teach women. Now, whether you take heed, whether you still want to buy into some fairy tale that you were sold, whatever it is, it's your business. I'm not trying to convince women to do anything different. I'm just here giving you tools because what we are heading into, women don't really grasp it. And this is an American woman thing, right? Women overseas, they get what I'm saying because they see the repercussions and consequences of women not conforming. They see it in real time. We don't really see it in America. We're still protected in a lot of ways. This is why women are comfortable. But may I beg, you better get uncomfortable. So yesterday I shared a post that I got from TikTok, and a woman gave an excellent breakdown on why women cannot love a man and love themselves. You have to take from yourself to give to a man in order to love him. And I told women, you cannot master yourself and be with a man. Something has to take a back seat, right? If you're going to focus on yourself and master yourself, your relationship and that man is going to become secondary. And men are going to go along with it, in the beginning. But then when you start to interfere with what he has planned, with his purpose, that's when things are going to go awry. This is why eventually women's relationships end when they work on themselves, right? You have to take from yourself to give to a man. It's almost impossible to be balanced in that way. Men are not going to allow it. There can't be two heads in the home. Men are not going to allow that, right? You have to be on his program. They can be, liberal and open-minded and all these things, but it's going to get to a point where you're going to have to make a decision. And I'm not telling anybody to leave their home or leave their man. I would never tell any woman that. That's not my place. But you need to go into what you're going into with your eyes open. It's easy and it's fun to work on yourself when you know you got that safety net of a man. A lot of you are with a safety net. So you really don't have to go too hard. I don't have no safety net. A lot of women don't have that. So it's really shoulda get off the pot, right? No one is telling you to not be with men. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous to tell women to not be with men. If you're attracted to men, you're going to want to be with them. but you have to accept what is whilst desiring to be with them. And anytime the discussion is had, of, women, centering themselves, women not having more children, and, children being a burden, or, marriage and all these things. Anytime that those discussions are being had and it's not in favor of those things, women come out swinging. It's always that. I remember years ago when I asked on Facebook, what is the reward of motherhood? What are you getting from it? What is the reward? Women lost their fucking minds. Because one, they couldn't answer the question. Right? And so when I shared that video, there were married women who say, I'm married and I agree. But then there were some women who were giving pushback. Why? Because they like to believe that they're whole and complete and they don't have to take from themselves to give to a man. They like to believe that. They have to believe whatever fantasy that they created in their heads to continue on in the marriage, which you shouldn't have to delude yourself to be with a man. Things are what they are. I understand that there are things that I may have to reduce in myself to be with a man. Just for ego, for protection. Not in a bad way. Women are always looking at things in a negative way when it comes to men. No, it's just the way things are. It's just the way nature is. Right? And so women cannot have these conversations. And because women cannot have these conversations, they can't face the truth. Men are not an escape route. Men are not coming to rescue you. Right? I can be the preference all fucking day long. I can be pretty and sexy all day long. But ain't nobody coming to fucking save me. And nor am I waiting on that. Right? Because this is my life, my rules, my way. Right? A lot of you don't want that. You want men to tell you what to do. You want the fruits of freedom, but you don't want the responsibility of it. I've seen women say that I hate women and I talk down to women and all these things. You know why women receive my messages in that way? Because they don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear that what they're working towards or looking forward to is not going to happen. And so when I talk about life skills, right? I just had a group session, a social skills group session. Learning how to articulate yourself, learning how to advocate for yourself. These are skills you're going to need for the world that we're going into. We had it very easy for a very long time. And as I said, I'm still benefiting from this freedom, this perceived freedom. And when shit hit the fan, I'm going to be too old to really have to deal with it. Right? So this is my contribution to those that come behind me. Your anger, your bitterness towards me, your projection, exposing people, and all this bullshit that y'all carrying on with, you're missing the fucking plot. Because if you think that men are going to give up power, if you think anybody in a position of power is just going to give it to you, you're out of your fucking minds. The skills that I'm giving you is skills that you're going to need to protect yourself, to survive. When you realize that nobody's coming to fucking save you. Yes, get your education. Yes, make your money. Yes, have your businesses. But there's a part of life, a major part of life, that you need to come to terms with. That those safe spaces that you retreat to, those controlled environments, schoolwork, men, they're not going to save you from yourselves. They're not going to save you in life, right? One of the main questions I get from women is, or one of the main issues women tell me is, they get into situations and they don't know how to advocate for themselves. They don't know how to articulate themselves, right? Because they're not prepared, right? This is why women want me to write scripts and teach them how to say things and what to say. Like, I can't do that for your everyday life. I can teach you skills and tools so that you can learn how to do these things yourself, right? We don't have the brawn that men have, but we have the intellect. Being able to protect yourself by way of knowing when to open and close this hole in your face, right, is the number one. This is how you protect yourself for the most part, right? But because women are so loose with this and so disrespectful with this and won't use these, you're in the state that you're in. And you can't use these because your ego won't allow you to. And so you write it off as, oh, she hates women. Or I hear this about other women who try to teach women because you don't like the message that's coming out of my mouth. I saw someone say, I try so hard to like her, right? And I responded with, don't try hard to like me. Try hard to like yourself. Because no matter what your lives turn out to be, I'm going to be all right. I have what you want from me. I have what's necessary so that I can go out into the world and come back home safely. I have that in me. Right? So try hard to like yourself enough that you will get what you need so that you can survive. I asked a question in my Instagram stories yesterday and on Facebook. If you knew a woman that can support you in changing your life drastically, but you didn't like her, would you be able to work with her? I got a variation of answers. Some yes, some no. Right? Women are getting to, you're going to have to learn how to work with each other like men do. You think men all like each other? No. But women allow their ego and cattiness and competition, sexual being the competition, right, for the male gaze and all that stupidness to get in the way of what they need. The unfortunate part is a lot of you are learning the hard way, and you're going to continue to learn the hard way because you'd rather know what my lip combination is, which let me just tell you what it is. Right? Remember Nikki's old Viva Glam from MAC? I still got a couple of tubes of that. And I lined my lip with Current from MAC, right? Because I know a lot of you, that's all you really care about because you think that this is going to protect you out there. Regardless of how you feel about me or any other woman who, speaks to women about survival and, how we carry ourselves, no matter how you feel, no matter how much you expose, how much time you spend, how much time you waste on nonsense, then the inevitable is coming. And this is not to, instill fear in women. I'm not trying to make you afraid of going outside. But the reality is, if you are not prepared, you're going to get eaten alive. We are not going back to the 1940s and 50s where you can be in the house with an apron and just free, right? There will be many women who have to be in the house under the covering of a man because they just don't have it mentally to survive on their own. They need to be under the covering of a man. Every woman is not going to be able to fend for herself. I understand that. But those of you who feel like you can, who know you can, it's really time to shit or get off the pot. You don't have time to waste. I just posted on Facebook yesterday. Curse these hoes out today. Learn how to advocate for yourself. I put a little joke to it, right? But I'm serious. Learn how to advocate for yourself. That is your protection. When someone accuses you of something, learn how to advocate for yourself. Learn how to advocate for yourself to get yourself out of dangerous situations instead of just unraveling and screaming and carrying on and cursing people out. The things I see women do and get themselves into. And it's because we still live in kind of like a polite society in America where, it's looked down upon to like be club women and watch how things are going. You better get your mind right. You better get your money right. And view men as what they are. It's just pleasure, enjoyment. And if you want to enter into some sort of binding with them, which is marriage or whatever it is, you better make sure that shit benefits you. Because you best believe that he's choosing you because it benefits him. Again, I'm at an age and a stage in my life where this stuff really doesn't affect me in the ways it would a woman 30 years old, 20 years old, right? Because by the time shit really gets to where it needs to be, I'll probably be old or gone, right? This is my contribution to the feminine collective. So when you listen to my voice 60, 70 years from now, Lilith warned you, and you wanted to be online exposing people or talking shit, or she hates me and she hates men, or whatever it is, right? Notice I don't pay men any mind. They praise me, they do all these things. I don't give a fuck because I'm not having kids for any of them. I don't give a fuck about their communities or what they want out of women. I'm not grooming women for men. I don't care about none of that shit that y'all care about. It's not that serious with men. Most men shouldn't even be taken that seriously. Y'all shouldn't even be thinking about children. It has to end somewhere, right? But your life is your own, and it's getting real. You better get your mind right and your money right.